Hi everyone, and welcome to the Virgo Illumination Reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi everyone and welcome. This reading is going to be taking a look at what is going on with you right now. So we're going to be taking a look at your energy around you, and then any blocks that you might be facing around this time. So we will go ahead right now and I'll start to pull the cards. I'm doing these a little differently than my previous readings. These are more timeless. So this is just more of a true direct energy read for right now. So whenever you come across this video, this is reading the energy for you at this time. Okay, so we have Justice. It's a beautiful energy, Virgo. It's a very powerful energy. It's one of fairness, equality, balance. That's really what's coming through strongly here. You're really harnessing the energy of Libra with that. And then in your external environment, we have the Empress, which is a beautiful creative energy. So for many of you, there is this feeling here that you are coming into a point right now where you are internally balanced, or something within your experience is balancing out in a very divine way. This is a major arcana card. So this is not in a small way. This isn't a major way. There's a major internal rebalancing going on for you right now. With the Empress in your external environment, for some of you guys, you could actually be giving birth. That is a very literal translation here. But otherwise, if you are not in the process or have recently given birth, this would be more that you are getting into a place of creativity, of really being able to have a supportive environment to give birth to something on a creative level, or just something that you would like to bring into this world. Now, I do see that many of you have gone through some type of wounding, a heartache. The Three of Swords speaks to, kind of those mental thoughts that pierce us in our mind, the things that didn't go our way. A negative relationship, the loss of a job, something within our family environment. But with the Eight of Wands and the Six of Coins, there could actually be here for some of you, interestingly enough, this is going to be a very specific message here, but there could actually be communication from someone from the past for you guys. And this someone could be someone could be tied directly to a heartache or a point where you were wounded by them. But I think what's interesting is that we'll go ahead. I'm going to pull some cards now to take a look at the blocks. I think for some of you, this may actually kind of open your eyes up to seeing, almost being able to make peace with the past, being able to see something in a new light. Because the Six of Cups really speaks to being able to go back to a past version of ourselves that either perhaps we romanticized. We kind of have those rose-colored glasses on, or a part of our experience in the past that we just emotionally connect to. This can be like, when you lived in a specific area at a certain time in your maybe youth, or you participated in some type of hobby or creative effort and you remember that, and it's one of those things where you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot that I used to love that, or I forgot that I had wanted that, or that I enjoyed being in a foreign country or something along those lines. Now, it could also be that here for many of you, that there's almost this feeling of something coming in here with justice involved, that there's something contractual coming in to be. That is what justice can speak to as well. So this could be that for some of you, you're hearing from something from the past that maybe had been where you were wronged, and now you have a chance to right it, which is interesting. So we'll go ahead and we'll pull additional cards here to see what's coming up. But I do see a very strong, balanced energy. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I had something pop up there, so I want to make sure it wasn't coming into the video screen here. All right. So let's see. What does Virgo need to know about potential blocks this week, or whenever you are choosing to watch this video? Okay, so we have the Prince of Pentacles, which is technically the Knight of Pentacles. That's actually your energy, Virgo, with the Nine of Pentacles. So I think for many of you, there's been kind of like a slow and steady. Oh, yeah, okay. Kind of a slow and steady, step by step, doing the day to day. And this is, your point of, this is your main block here. Now, where that can, the Knight of Pentacles or the Prince of Pentacles in this deck, where that can become kind of a problem is that he tends to not only move very slowly, which is not always a bad thing, but sometimes it can be where we really need to kind of pick up the pace and just move along and get it done. But it can also be where this is almost like the analysis paralysis. With Virgo, sometimes you guys can get stuck in that because you tend to be, again, a highly perfectionist sign because you have access to a higher level of kind of mental agility. Your sign is ruled by Mercury, and you are a mutable sign. So there's an element of kind of change that you kind of have an adaptability on a mental level. But what can happen here is that you might get into that place of, if it's not perfect, I'm not gonna share it. I'm not going to finish it. I'm just going to kind of keep going. This is like the person who's written the book and they've been sitting on the manuscript forever, and yet they keep like chipping away at, I'm just going to keep, no, actually, I'm going to just re-edit the first 4 chapters again, instead of just finally sending it to a publisher or an editor or even a manager, anybody to just read it and start to get the process moving forward. And with the Nine of Pentacles here, I think there's a little bit of a disconnect between the process of building what you want, because the Knight of Pentacles kind of speaks to that. It's like having the eye on the long-term goal and then really setting forth methodically, doing each step that it takes to get there. There seems to be a disconnect between that and the actual realization that you guys have a lot of abundance and independence to enjoy. So there can be a feeling here of maybe not enjoying what you have currently in the physical, because that's what Pentacles speak to, because either you're waiting for something here to come full circle. This could even be where maybe you're waiting for communication from somebody from the past, or you're waiting for something, you're waiting to have movement because you're waiting for, again, something to come forward, something to happen. And with the Princess of Pentacles, which is actually the Page of Pentacles in the middle, this is saying it's time to go out there and I think gain a little, it's more about, pages are more about the youthful, curious, like let's just go out there and start playing with something. It's almost like you're being asked to take a look at the Nine of Pentacles that you have, which is abundance, which is, look at the wealth of whatever you have truly in the physical, whatever you have a lot of to enjoy. It's saying it's time to take a piece of that and start playing with it. Start going out there and seeing what you can do with it. This can be the energy of kind of fact finding. It can be almost like a kind of a course correction a little bit. So this can be where maybe you did have your eye on a specific long-term goal, but something somewhere might have changed with justice coming in here. There might have been a change in you. It might have been a rebalancing internally within yourself, but there could also be a rebalancing external to you as well that might have involved, let's say, some type of legal contract. And somehow, somewhere in between these two, there is a level of independence and a level of being very abundant in some aspect of your experience that you're missing. Because if you can kind of get back into more of the curious, optimistic, childlike energy of like, okay, I do have some money in the bank that I can play around with. And so I am going to book that vacation, or I'm going to start to research homes that I can buy. Or, I do have actually a lot more free time than I used to. So I'm going to start finding things to do with that free time. Maybe I'm going to pick back up that hobby again that I haven't done. And even though that hobby might have nothing to do with my long-term vision of what I want to achieve for myself, I'm going to realize that, but I have this in abundance. So I'm going to start enjoying it while I continue to go on the path. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's the sense I'm getting here. It doesn't have to be perfect for you to enjoy it. That's the main clear message coming through, because on the other side of that, if you can really get into that mindset, we have 8 of Wands, which is fast forward movement or quick communication, and the 10 of Cups. It's almost like you're going to get zipped right into that level of like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been missing. This is the emotionally fulfilling dream that I've been waiting to come in. And it's almost like you're going to be able to embrace that and really step up into this becoming a creative partner and building your own vision of heaven. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull some clarifiers here. So we're going to get a little deeper into these messages. So let's go ahead and see what Virgo needs to know about the Prince of Pentacles. What does Virgo need to know about this block? Okay, King of Wands. Yeah, for many of you, I think you don't realize that you've already mastered something. This is almost like the individual who was so focused on doing something step by step by step and saying, okay, I have to perfect this. I have to keep I have to do it in this way. And it's like almost like you've missed that you've become the CEO of the company, or you've missed that you've become the owner of a lifestyle in a way that most people would only dream of. There's something here with the King of Wands coming in that says you had the chance to step up and really be seen as being very passionate. I'm trying to see with the Six of Swords. Okay, so yeah, for many of you, there is this level of having to move on from something. The Six of Swords speaks to, on a mental level, just truly moving on from kind of choppy waters into a calmer, more serene place. This is where you get a chance to really transcend. This is my card of transcendence, transcending the limitations we have placed on ourselves in a mental space. This is where we say, but I can't move out of the place I've always lived in because I've grown up here. I don't know anything else. And this is saying, well, what if you just on a mental level realize, well, you've mastered living here. Who's to say you can't master living someplace else? There's something here around, for many of you, you've mastered actually living from a place of passion and haven't really realized it yet. And it's time now to move on from perfecting something or building something that I think you haven't realized has already been built or is ready to be seen. The King of Wands is also a very showy energy. So for many of you, this could be that actually whatever you've been working on, it's time for it to be seen. It's time to put it out there, and it's time for you to kind of move on from the draft phase to the finalization phase. Okay. Let's see here. 9 of Pentacles. What does Virgo need to know about the 9 of Pentacles? That's a lot of cards. Let's see if we can get a few less than that. What does Virgo need to know about the 9 of Pentacles? Devil. Yeah, many of you are holding yourself back from enjoying what you have. So really be aware of that right now. Where are you holding yourself back from leaning in to the abundance that's around you and really enjoying it, really taking the time to not hold yourself back? And the Magician, I love it. Yeah, realizing the magic lies within you. Not with the plan or what's down the line or one day when I get here, then I can enjoy it. The Magician says the magic happens here, happens in the present moment, happens with what you have. So really keep that in mind. For very few of you, okay, so we have, this is interesting. It's happened twice now. It happened in the Scorpio reading as well. Same card clarifies this card. So the Page of Coins clarifying the Page of Coins. This is saying, get out there. It doesn't matter if it's a rough draft. It doesn't matter if you're just taking one aspect of your abundance. There's something here about getting out there and playing, getting out there and sharing it, getting out there and getting more information about what you can do with the abundance that you have. I'm just seeing if anything else wants to come up here. The Devil and the Magician can also, just on a side note, for a very specific reading. This is not going to be for all of you, but this could also be a tie, an unhealthy relationship with a Gemini in your life. So just kind of keep that in mind. With the Magician, this could also be, the Magician can also be seen sometimes in a negative way. I mean, it didn't come up reverse, so I'm not going to read it that way, but it can show as an unhealthy kind of manipulative energy. So keep that in mind if there's something going on around that. But otherwise, this is just showing that you're holding yourself back from enjoying your abundance, and the magic is in the present moment. The magic is really going out there and enjoying this abundance. And you are going to be the one to find what you can do with it. I think that's the crazy thing. That's really what the Magician speaks to, is that we all have the same access to all of the different elements, but it's our uniqueness that comes together and sees what we can make with them uniquely. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands and the Two of Coins. Yeah, for many of you, you're getting kind of lost in the day-to-day and not allowing yourself to go with this fast-forward flow of energy. So the Two of Coins here is very similar to, this is what the Knight of Coins will be doing. He's like, I'm just doing the day-to-day. I'm just doing the day-to-day. And it's almost like, again, he's not realized it's already happened. You already achieved it. Wake up, because there's more coming in. There's something here around, if you can really go out and play with one of these coins and not just get lost in the day-to-day, be more focused on gratitude for what you have in abundance and go out there and play with it to see what you can do with it. This is when the energy comes in. This is when forward momentum comes in. This is also what could bring in this communication. You might hear from somebody who's like, whoa, I saw what you just, put up on Facebook, or I just came across your script or the book that you sent, and, I think it's wonderful. Like, let's make this happen. And suddenly you're revisiting a long lost dream you never thought was going to happen for years. There's something here around the Six of Cups, a chance to revisit something from the past. But it is going to really mean that you have to kind of get out of that methodical day-to-day. This is what I do day-to-day. And then we have Three of Swords for the Ten of Cups. Yeah, for many of you, there's wounding around a past attempt at a dream. The Ten of Cups is like our ultimate heart's fulfillment. This is the happy family card. This is when we have so much on an emotional level of abundance. We just want to share it with everybody. And there's wounding around that for some of you guys. Either you've tried to, work towards that and it didn't work out the last time. That could be directly what this was. In fact, I'm going to look below this. Yeah, Ace of Cups, love. There is something here around love, wounding around sharing yourself authentically with others. And I think what you're not realizing is that this is ready to come in for you. In fact, it's probably all around you. But that you have to realize that you are the one that gets to create at this time. You have to be, there's a co-creative element here of giving birth to this. And sometimes it can be bittersweet. It can kind of come all at once and we didn't realize it because we were dealing with the past heartache. Oh yeah, we have Ten of Coins. Yep. Yeah, something around a legacy. We have Ten of Coins and Ten of Cups. This is truly like your ultimate fulfillment on this earth that is both emotionally fulfilling and physically fulfilling. So you get the chance to really bring that in right now. This is actually a very positive read, Virgo. If you can get past a level of kind of perfection, a level of attainment that I think, might never be. And you guys have really, you're ready to be seen. There's a point that you can kind of move on, I think, from this point of like, I have to keep working. I have to perfect something in my life. I have to have it right before I can enjoy it. Saying it's time to enjoy it is now. The time to prioritize it, enjoyment of this is now. And what's ironic is that when you start to enjoy it, that's when something is going to kick into high gear. And that's when something you've long wanted to give birth to is going to have the chance to happen. And it will involve a Ten of Cups and a Ten of Coins. So this is a big kind of opening of a doorway into that really the heart's fulfillment. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a card here, Power of Surrender. We have two. Oh, I love it. We have surrendered to miracles. It says, be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. So for many of you who are, doubtful about enjoying some aspect of your life, or sending that book in to be read by a publisher, or enjoying the new home you just bought, or the life you've led, or whatever it is, saying surrender to miracles. Something is truly waiting to come in for you here with the aid of some communication that's going to bring something from the past back to, I think, be made right. Or this is fast forward moving energy towards a dream fulfillment. And it says, surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. So there's something here that needs to change in your life, but it's a change that is going to bring in abundance and creativity and giving birth to something. So don't be afraid of change and surrender to miracles. All right, Virgo, I will leave it here. This is a very positive message. I hope you're reading it as such. If you'd like to book your own personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website and view my services. Otherwise, I will see you all in the next illumination reading. Bye, everyone.